How many phrases do I need to say? And how often do I need to say it? It is the question that is asked by every newbie, and it is the question that we get tired of hearing over and over and over again because the law of attraction is so confusing. I don't even call it law of attraction. I call it conscious manifesting. You were asleep and you were naturally creating a life that you loved or hated. Now that you are awake, as the term loves to put it, you are so frustrated, you're not sure exactly whether or not you're doing it right, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, and what to do. And it means that you have a bowl of cherries, and how many of them are sour? How many of them are sweet? It's really confusing, and I want to clear up some of that confusion for you today. This is Susie, your beautiful millionaire swan queen. Welcome back to the garden, my beautiful duckling. Subscribe, smash the like button, share my videos, and I would really appreciate it. So yesterday's video, we talked about titles. Everybody has a title that they give to something. And if you're not defining the title, you're getting hot and cold results. And no matter what you're doing, it may not be working. So when you are creating your dream life, you need to know that one phrase repeated over and over and over again will get you whatever it is that you are creating. And you can blanket phrase it. So when you are wanting to do money, Mark Cuban is always referred to as billionaire Mark Cuban. So if I start calling myself Susie the Millionaire or Susie Millionaire, I am creating being a millionaire. And I am blanketing that I'm a millionaire. I am saying Susie Millionaire, beautiful millionaire swan queen. I'm naming it, I'm claiming it. And I'm only saying one word over and over again, millionaire. But I'm putting it in front of my name. It's like if I wanted to be married, I would become a Mrs. So I would introduce myself. And for people who don't change their name, you're still going to be like, I am Susie. For people who are so proud of the fact that they're married, they're going to be like, I'm Mrs. Jared. Think about it. When you are getting mail, is it addressed to Mr. and Mrs.? Because that's how it used to be in the old days. In the old days, you would get a Christmas card in the mail and it would be addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Jared. And family. When you are going to the doctor's office, how are they addressing you? You have a title. And that title is important when you're manifesting, and you have to define what that title is and what it means to you, because you're doing it 86,400 seconds a day right now. So how often do you need to say your phrase? Until you're blue in the face for the rest of your life. Legitimately, till you're blue in the face the rest of your life. Some days you are literally going to be a dark shade of blue because you have said it so often. Other days you're going to be a beautiful pale blue like the sky. But you are going to say whatever you are creating every day for the rest of your life. You're doing it naturally now. You truly are. You are going from groups to YouTube to Insta, back to Facebook, back to YouTube, back to Insta. You're on Google, you're in Pinterest. You are researching and studying and looking to find answers to whatever question you have. So you want to build a nursery. You're Googling pictures of the nurseries and what different nurseries look like. You're on Pinterest. You're joining Facebook groups about getting pregnancy and having a baby. You want a specific person. You're looking at ways to redo the master bedroom because you want it to be for both of you. What do they like? What do you like? How can you combine that together to make this beautiful master bedroom? Do you want a romantic relationship? Do you want a fun and adventurous relationship? Do you want a romantic, fun, and adventurous relationship, which combines all three of them into one? But you're going to say it constantly, over and over and over again. I'm happily married. When I was working retail, people would tell me everything, absolutely positively everything. Husbands would come in and they'd be like, I want this lunch meat. And I would say, that's not what your wife normally gets. And they would say, that's what I want though. Okay, well, here's a piece. Try it. Tell me if you like it. I do like that. All right, I'll slice it for him. Now, if you go home and she gets upset, tell her I messed up. That way you don't get in trouble. They're like, you'll do that for me? Yeah, if you answer one question for me. What's the secret to be happily married? What's the secret to your successful life? Why are you always happy? And I would ask them questions, and the people that were happily married for 30 to 50 to 60 years would tell me that they asked one question over and over again for 60 years, and that was, why am I happily married? So one question is all it took for them to be happily married for 60 years. Mark Cuban is constantly saying billionaire Mark Cuban. That's what he's referred to. So it's something that is said over and over and over again. If you are in religion and you are going to the church, I have a title, it's Reverend. A Catholic minister is a father. He's not a minister, he's a priest, and he's a father. But you go to other churches and it's brother, it's priest, it's pastor. Think about your titles. You're giving out these titles, and when you're giving out these titles, you are doing it all the time. I don't go see my foot doctor and I don't say, I want to see, Tom to look at my foot to make it better. No, I want to see Dr. Jared so he can work on my foot and make it better. I'm going to go see Dr. Jared. When I had my OBGYN, it was Dr. Amy, and I called her Amy, but her title was doctor. And I loved Dr. Amy. She was absolutely amazing. She walked into the delivery room, and I'm like, hey, Amy. But she had a title, and I specifically went to her for a specific reason. When I answered phones at the bank, people would talk about their money, and they would talk about how they were doing amazing with their money, or they were struggling and they didn't know how to keep their bank account positive. And the people that were struggling were constantly asking, after this transaction, what's my bank balance? So I have 5 transactions pending on my account. My balance is $500, but those transactions total $1,000. So does that mean I have to put $500 in the bank? No, that's your balance after those clear. Your actual balance is $15. It leaves you $500 to spend. And I would have to repeat these things over and over again like a broken record all day long. Not because I'm being mean, not because I am trying to force you to do something you want, but because you're naturally doing it all day long. Think about your money and write down on your phone how many times you go into your banking app. I know people, before they spend any money, they check their banking app. After they spend it, they check their banking app. So I went to the store to buy a hairbrush. I don't actually use a hairbrush, but I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy a hairbrush. And I walk into the store, I'm checking my balance to see how much money I have, and I go to the register and I pay for my hairbrush. And then, after I leave the store, I'm checking my bank balance to make sure that they only took out the $3.27 that it cost for my hairbrush. You're doing it naturally every day, all day long. So your phrases can be one phrase. So if you are working on money and you pick a dollar point, because a dollar point is easy to say, I have $1 million in my bank account right now. Why do I have $1 million in my bank account right now? So it is in a question or a statement, either or. The question helps when you have doubts about being the millionaire. The statement becomes your dominant thought. So when I was changing my money and I started with, I always have money, because I didn't think I had money, and I would have like 3 cents left over after I paid all my bills, went grocery shopping, put gas in the car, and treated myself to go out to eat and get my nails done. And I would be, okay, awesome, wonderful, I always have money. And then I started realizing that I did have money. And then I was be like, I always have money, and now I have this much left over after payday. And then I have this much left over payday. I baby stepped it. I messed in the middle, so to speak, because I needed to build faith that I always had money. So when I'm wanting to marry the love of my life, the only thing I need to say is I'm happily married to Jared. I'm happily married to Jared. I am happily married to Jared. I have a happy marriage to Jared. I could frame it in the question, why do I have a happy marriage with Jared? Now I'm bypassing any doubts that I have. But I'm thinking about Jared all day long, just like I would if I was married to him. The difference is if I'm actually physically married to him, I'm not obsessing over him. Wrong, wrong, wrong. That's not true. Whether you are in no contact, you are just texting, you are friends with benefit, you are fully dating, you are in a committed relationship, you're obsessing about this relationship 86,400 seconds a day because you're wanting to level it up somehow. You're wanting to change this relationship somehow. So if you're in no contact, you want to get back to contact. If you are just text friends, you want to be actually physically seeing them face to face. If you're seeing them face to face and you are friends with benefits, you're wanting to level that up to a fully committed relationship. The fully committed, you're wanting to level up to happily married. So I go to the end. Why am I happily married to Jared? Why am I happily married to Jared? It's one question that I say over and over and over again, and I'm going to say it till the day I die. If I want that relationship and I want to keep that relationship, I'm going to say it to the day I die. Because here's the thing. When I'm married to him, I send him a text message. He doesn't respond. Why is he ignoring me? Why isn't he responding? He was on Facebook, but he didn't respond to my text message. He was on the Snapchat, viewed my story, but he didn't respond. He was on Messenger. I seen him active, and he still hasn't responded. What is he doing that he's ignoring me? Why isn't he paying attention to me? What time's he coming home? What are we having for dinner? Are we going to go out this weekend? Are we going to go to the creek? Are we going to go couples date? Are we going to go see the family? Who's going grocery shopping? Are we going to have a really good, wonderful evening tonight, or are we going to fight again? That's what we're naturally doing. And because we're naturally doing it, we're all over the place. We're literally all over the place, and we are frustrated and angry and upset because we don't realize that because of what we've done, we have gotten out of our comfort zone. And then we came to manifesting, and manifesting says we have to do this, 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 and this. So when you go to conscious manifesting, which is what I teach, conscious manifesting is saying, I am creating this. And because I am creating this, I'm changing my life for the better. So now my dominant thought can be one thing, my specific person, and I can get that specific person. I can have two dominant thoughts, my specific person and money. And I can work on both of those because guess what? You're naturally doing that anyways. You're thinking about the bills being paid and what you're having for dinner. You're thinking about the car needs to be fixed, or you want a new car, or you're going to buy a house. So you're thinking about your relationship and now buying a house with the love of your life. That's two things. Now you want to lose weight. So every time you go to eat something, you're like, oh, should I drink that coffee? Do I need to put my coffee aside right now? Well, does my specific person like the curves? Is he going to be mad that I lost the weight, or is he going to be happy that I lost the weight? Is he going to encourage me? What new nickname can he come up and give me? I mean, how is this going to work out? Is this going to affect our relationship? Because, I mean, I can't go do the hot dogs and the pizza and the beer on the weekend with him because I can't eat that. I'm on a diet. So is he gonna be upset about that? So now your diet and your specific person are your dominant thought. Well then, oh wait, are we gonna have the money to go there this weekend? Or do we need to skip it and stay in? 3 thoughts that run through your mind dominantly. So my dominant thoughts are always my relationships with the most important people in my life. not just my specific person, the most important people in my life. So I'm talking about how my relationship with my daughter is amazing. I have an amazing relationship with my daughter. We get along incredibly well. So I can use that to say all of my relationships are amazing. But in order to simplify this, when it comes to money, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to weight loss, one phrase, repeat it until the cows come home, and go back out and come home again and go back out and come home again. You're literally going to turn blue in the face at first. And it's going to be a beautiful dark blue, midnight blue, almost black, as to how often you say it. And then as it becomes more and more natural, you're going to be a pale blue. You're going to be as pale blue like the sky. It's going to lighten over time. So in the beginning, because you are consciously creating this new reality, you are going to do it a lot. And you only have to do one phrase. Forming it in a question is your choice. But it has been proven that a question must be answered and you will look for the results. The key to all of this is not what phrase, what question, how often a day you say it. The biggest key to all of this is that your default is, I always get whatever I want. I'm choosing to create this in my reality. I always get what I choose to create in my reality. I'm a conscious manifester and I always get what I consciously manifest. Your default in all of manifesting, creating your dream life, however you want to phrase it, whatever tool, technique, or tip you use, must be, I always get what I want. Because none of that works unless you are walking around saying, I'm spoiled and I always get what I want. And I say it all the time. I'm spoiled. I always get what I want. Why am I spoiled? I have somebody who's going to finish painting for me. I have somebody who's going to clean my house for me. I have people who are willing to do things for me just because it's their way of me knowing I am loved and appreciated. So if you love me, it gives me attention. But when I say I'm spoiled, it gives me the feeling of being loved, appreciated, respected. So you have to find the words that you naturally say over and over and over again. So if you're walking around saying, I'm struggling, debt's over my head, you need to start changing the word struggle to doing better. Every day I'm doing better. Every day I'm doing better. Not struggle, I'm doing better. And then from better, you could say, I'm doing great, amazing, incredible, fantastic. You got to find a word that you can start with to help you build your faith that this works. Even expert manifestors who can create things instantly have to sometimes baby step projects. We can't just jump in like the fire truck and go full blaring because people think we're crazy or we internally think that we are crazy. So if I'm thinking that I'm crazy because the fire truck is making a huge lot of noise, what am I creating? Chaos. But I can use the fire truck to create whatever I want. The sirens are going off, I get what I want. The sirens are going off, I get what I want. Somebody beeps a horn, I get what I want. It doesn't matter what you're saying. It's that you're saying this works and you are focusing forward and getting what you want. I love you guys. Have an absolutely positively amazing day. As always, tell me how what I'm sharing with you is drastically changing your life for the better.